Title hopes are still alive as they beat the Knicks 127-102 last night at home with Jason Tatum injured. Derek White stepped up for the Celtics, dropping 34 points, 7 threes. Jaylen Brown added 26 and 12. The Celtics are looking to be the 14th team in NBA history to come back from being down 3-1. Boston refused to give up their hope of back-to-back championships, using a strong second half to surge past the Knicks in Game 5 and send the series back to MSG. Jaylen Brown became the fourth player in Celtics history with 25 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds while facing elimination in the first since Larry Bird in 1984. If Boston wins Game 6, UD, they win in the series?
Yeah. I definitely believe they win. Why you looking? What you frowning for, man?
Just make your point.
Okay, I got to sit across from him, Monica. I got to look at his face all the time.
Just go ahead and make your point.
Okay, listen. Yes, they will win the series, and I'm gonna tell you why. You got 2 in Boston. You don't supposed to have to. You don't want to go back there for Game 7. You're not going to get a third one. And I think the Knicks understand that. Everybody knows that Game 6, you have to create that back against the wall mentality. You got to go out there and finish them. You do not want to go to Boston. That little leprechaun is real. You don't want to go step on that court for Game 7 and have to deal with that.
Okay. The preference, obviously, I do think there's urgency to get it done in Game 6. I am not going to say that it's completely done if that does not happen. Responding after losses, Jalen Brunson in particular is averaging 36 points. The Knicks have won after every loss. So that would be a break in pattern if they do not close on Friday. You don't want to go back to Boston, I agree, but I'm still not going to completely rule it out.
I'm going to roll with Monica on this. I'm not going to completely rule it out, but I will confess I would be very, very, very concerned. I would not be that confident. I'm just not going to completely eradicate their chances. But I would be very nervous. I do believe there's a level of urgency to Game 6. I think the New York Knicks have to win Game 6. Otherwise, they will go into Boston, the underdogs. Boston will have all the momentum in the world, and the Knicks will have to gumption up something that I don't know if we've seen from them even during these playoffs in order to win that Game 7 in Boston. That much I will say. But I'm not going to say it's totally out of the question. Because who knows? Boston could fold in a Game 7.
This can be very disheartening losing a 3-1 lead against the champions. It can be very disheartening in that locker room.
I agree.
What's the biggest key for Boston to win Game 6?
Brown has to continue to be Brown, and the other guys have to continue to show up. I agree 1,000% with you, Stephen A. Sometimes when you lose one of your superstars, it unlocks and opens up other guys. It's harder to scheme against when you're a defensive player. You're not scheming for Lou Cornett to go out and does what he does. And in my opinion, he was the MVP of that game. Sparked an 11-0 run in the third quarter, and I believe that 11-0 run carried over, and that was the reason why they were able to create that separation and finish that game the way they were.
Joe Mazzulla pregame continued to make the point, empathy for JT certainly, but tactically an opportunity. And they're like, look, we're 8-2, now 9-2 with that win in games where we have not had Jason Tatum. And so there is a confidence there. It's not only Jason Tatum that is a reigning NBA champ, right? And so I think you saw that. Now, did they play a different style of basketball? For sure. Am I going to say it's better? No, but it was different. And in this particular matchup, it was very effective. When I look at it, the key to me still continues to be Derek White. Jaylen Brown has to set the table as he did last night with those 12 assists. But I think Derek White is quietly sort of the stir or the drink that's
Brown, and the other guys have to continue to show up. I agree 1,000% with you, Stephen A. Sometimes when you lose one of your superstars, it unlocks and opens up other guys. It's harder to scheme against when you're a defensive player. You're not scheming for Lou Cornett to go out and does what he does. And in my opinion, he was the MVP of that game. Sparked an 11-0 run in the third quarter, and I believe that 11-0 run carried over, and that was the reason why they were able to create that separation and finish that game the way they were.
Joe Mazzulla pregame continued to make the point, empathy for JT certainly, but tactically an opportunity. And they're like, look, we're 8-2, now 9-2 with that win in games where we have not had Jason Tatum. And so there is a confidence there. It's not only Jason Tatum that is a reigning NBA champ, right? And so I think you saw that. Now, did they play a different style of basketball? For sure. Am I going to say it's better? No, but it was different. And in this particular matchup, it was very effective. When I look at it, the key to me still continues to be Derek White. Jaylen Brown has to set the table as he did last night with those 12 assists. But I think Derek White is quietly sort of the stir the straw that stirs the drink because of his ability to both defend, knock down shots at a high level. And I just think he's a really smart basketball player.
Knicks need to be tougher defensively.
100%.
You got to make it hard. Boston's going to just be oozing with confidence if they're making shots. You got to make them miss. You got to make them work. You got to make them uncomfortable. You should be able to do that in the Game 6 at Madison Square Garden. You should get up in them. You should make sure they understand, listen, I don't give a damn that y'all been 10-2 this season without Jason Tatum. You're about to be 10-3. We're going to get up in you. Y'all ain't the same team because without Jason Tatum, they looked great last night. They were moving the basketball. They were sharing it. Their spacing was sublime. You look at them, they're making shots. It's Derek White, it's Pritchard, it's Jaylen Brown. You had Cornette being just swatting everything away. So you have a defensive presence. You got to take pride in that matchup. You know, Mitchell Robinson, what the hell is Cornette doing looking better than you? Do something about that defensively. Make sure you blocking some
Speaking
shots.
of it being sublime, I'm curious, Monica and UD, did last night prove to you that the Celtics are actually the better team even without Jason Tatum?
In this matchup, the Celtics are the more experienced team.
I think they're better. I think they're better. They now have a better starting five, but I think they have a better collection, a better team.
Yes.
And I give Missoula all the credit in the world, and that's the one blemish on the record of Tom Thibodeau.
Yes.
Because we know what you can do with your starting five. We know that Tom Thibodeau can soak the energy out of anybody. He's going to get all he can. He's going to squeeze that bad boy. We understand it. But where's the rest? What you got?
I'm not ready to jump there yet. I will say that they are the better team based on what they had accomplished at large. But I do think a big part of last night that doesn't get quantified for statistically is that environment. Because when the lead was shrinking in games 1 and 2, you could hear a pin drop in there. Yesterday, when Jaylen Brown goes diving into the bench to save that loose ball, even when he gets in his little chat with Josh Hart, it was as loud in there as I have heard it be at any point in this series. And so I think there was a lot of emotion pumping through that team's veins.
I don't understand what you're saying because it would have been loud in games 1 and 2 if the Knicks hadn't come back.
But what I'm saying to you is that the expectation of your fan base, you feel it. They tightened up so bad in games 1 and 2, right? And so there was, for a minute, and even in that third quarter, you're like, okay, well, the Knicks have been here before. Let's see if this group gets tight. There was so much emotion in terms of rallying around Jason Tatum. Led by Jaylen Brown, he deserves a ton of props that I don't think that they are that much better because of the way they won without Jason Tatum last night.
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. And I agree that they are a better team because of the depth. And you look at guys like Al, who you can put in your starting lineup, who usually a guy that comes off the bench. You have the sixth man of the year. You have a coach that has won a championship. So, yeah, I agree. Overall, they are the better team. But New York had been the tougher team early on. They have been the guys that have been fighting, and they never let go of the rope down 20. We saw that reverse, and we saw that switch in the last game. And that's another reason why I feel like if Boston wins game 6, going back to game 7, they have the momentum. And I feel like they will close it out.
And let's not forget, listen, he probably don't feel this way, probably don't think about it or whatever, but we're going to go back to Tibbs now. And in terms of what pressure's on him, this man has been a coach in the NBA for many years. Chicago, Minnesota, now New York. Never has reached an NBA Finals. You're going up against a coach that's won a championship. Been a coach for 2 years. He's already a champion. Ready to a game 7 of a conference finals. I'm looking at stuff like that. I'm like, yo, Tibbs, just like we're going to look at the players, we're going to look at him too. Figure it out. Figure it out.
Yeah.
As you can see, the concern level is on the rise.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.